All righty. I think we're live. Hey, Linda.
Hey,
Hey, friend.
hey, friend.
How you doing?
I'm good. When you said "Hey, friend," I immediately was transported to the Black Escalade in Cancun, Mexico. I was like,
Oh my God.
"Friend, if this is the last time we speak, girl, we about
I
to get
love you.
abducted.
We might die today.
You might die."
Oh my God, you guys. We were in Cancun and we got into this black Escalade and then it started making noises. And we were like, our resort was kind of off path, right? We had to go through this fields and bamboos to get there.
Literally, we had to go through dirt roads and no power. No lights, just black dirt roads, and then yeah.
Girl, tell them a little bit because I got to check something on here. But I'm gonna
Uh,
just kind of tell them, and then I'm gonna tell them who you are.
I
But I
told him
got to
about the
check.
story in Cancun.
Yeah, just that little story right there.
Oh man, well, the story started though because I said, I'm tired. I was going through life right after Thanksgiving, and I called you, and you were like, "Girl, me too." And we both have kids that are like making decisions that we would not want them to make, and so we were both talking about our own kids, and I was like, "Girl, I'm tired," and you were like, "Me too." I was like, "Let's go to Mexico," and you were like, "Okay, cool," and I was like, "All right, tomorrow," and you were like, "Tomorrow." And I said, "Get your passport." And you literally were like, "I can't find it." And I was like, "Well, I already booked my thing. I'm going." And you were like, "But I'm the one." No. And so you literally found your passport and we hopped on a plane 48 hours after just kicking it around.
We did.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah, we did. I love
That
that.
literally was us being our future self.
Yeah, making boss decisions, which we're going to talk about today, right?
Right.
How do you move like a boss, like a CEO, like the person you want to be? How do you move that way?
Correct.
So yeah,
So
girl. Yeah.
then we hopped on a plane. We got there.
Hmm.
I got there first. So I was drinking a margarita, waiting for you at the airport. I was already breaking rules at the airport. Like, you're not supposed to take pictures or video in the airport, or like they literally have like Mexican militia there, like people like armed.
Yeah.
And I was like with my phone, and they were like, "Hey, put your phone down. No, delete that." And I was like, somebody with a big machine gun told me that. So anyway, out here
Machine gun.
just breaking rules. And anyway, we get to the hotel. We have a concierge that books our, anything we want to do, go to the
Hmm.
spa or leave the resort. So we leave the resort in this black Escalade. The guy's dressed nice, the truck is nice. Man, we get down the road, it's already nighttime. And
It's
the thing
dark.
starts making noise, and I'm looking at Chandra like I watched too many Queen of the South episodes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so Chandra's like, "Girl, we're okay." And she literally is doing like a little video that she's gonna post later. And I'm just like trying to stay alive. And then the truck literally breaks down. Like smoke smell, everything. And then the guy gets out of the truck. It's pitch black.
Mm.
I mean, I speak Spanish, so I knew that he called somebody to say the truck broke down. But when he got out of the truck, I didn't know if he was about to do a trade, like give us up to the
The
cartel or something.
cartel. That's where your head was at.
My head was like, "Oh my God, the cartel is gonna take me." And anyway, we had a great time. Actually, what was really amazing was that we got to the restaurant, and one of your clients, was she a client of yours?
Oh no, she's a friend, Helen. Remember, yeah, she responded on when I posted
And
this.
she was like, "Hey, I'm in Mexico too." And literally, the phrase, "It's a small world."
Yeah.
Like, so what are the chances of you running into your friend from California over there at the same time? And we had an amazing time. We had
Yeah,
a
we
great
did.
dinner.
Yeah.
And literally, I know this wasn't part of the story, but it just kind of clicked in here. That's really what the future self that I always envisioned,
Yeah.
being able
Yeah.
to make decisions without having to ask. Imagine if we had a job, we couldn't just get on a plane in 48 hours. First of all, with a job, we wouldn't have the money to get on a plane in 48 hours.
Right. Right.
You know,
Hmm.
also, Chandra runs a successful business. So Chandra and I weren't like, whose name is going to be the room in? How are we going to split half? Like we weren't doing that.
We didn't nickel and dime dinners, the splitting of any bill or the room.
The stuff
Like,
got handled.
yeah,
We drank tequila for breakfast. It was crazy.
it was crazy. We had a good time. We had a
We
good
did.
time.
That was
Yeah.
my future self in my
Yes.
present self.
That's right. But I think that we've been living like that for a while. Just me and you have been knowing each other for a long time in this entrepreneurial world, right? Probably from the beginning, we've been watching each other. But before we get into that, I just want to thank everybody for joining. I want you to share, please share, because this topic is so important. I see a lot of people responded and they were into it and they wanted, they want to listen. And they want to listen because they know that if you watch me on my journey, and if you know Linda, and you watch Linda on her journey, we move differently than other people, right? Than the average person. So you want to learn how does that even happen? How do you even do that? How do you make quick decisions? How do you invest in yourself at high levels? How do you take big risks? All these how, right? So this is a great interview to watch. So please share with your audience and
I'm
people.
sharing now. That's why I'm not looking at
Okay.
the
All
camera.
right. Thank you. But I want to introduce her just to who she is. She is a high level coach and consultant, sales consultant, and helps her clients get to millions of dollars. So I've seen her do it. I've seen her do it for herself. I've seen her, she's coached me. All right. She's coached me. She's gotten me together. So she's not only my friend, she's also my client. No, just kidding. That sounds like
She's
the
also my
hair
coach,
the
my
hair
client,
commercial.
my everything.
I'm not
Everything.
only your friend, I'm also your client. But she's gotten me together. There's been times where I've been in the bed and be like, I ain't gonna sell this month. I'm just gonna rest and I'm not gonna do this. And she's like,
I'm like, rest. Girl, it's the 10th of the month. You can rest this weekend. Get go.
and I swear to you, one time when she did that, it's probably 2 years ago already, which is crazy, a year and a half ago. When she did that, she was like, no, you're not going to do that. The same conversation we just had. And I think in 2 weeks, I made $50,000. I was like, okay, yeah, you're right. Let me get this shit together. I'm acting like a baby. Let me get it together. And I made $50,000 in 2 weeks, right? I closed $50,000 in 2 weeks. So this is just the importance of having a good circle around you, right? Good friends around you, people that understand. And just like in my post, when I close a large deal or I make a lot of money or something great happens in my business, Linda's usually the first person I call or text or message because she understands. If you message other people that are not in this game or don't understand how this works, they're not going to be able to celebrate with you, right? And they're not going to be able to acknowledge that it's a big deal or it's wonderful. Or even now, like I remember we used to celebrate smaller wins and we do bigger ones now. Like those smaller ones, we don't even say nothing anymore because it's like just normal now, right? It's normal for us. But anyway, today we're here to chat about identity shifting. And this is a topic that me and her talk about all the time. Just in conversation, we had to we were already talking about it before we went live right now. And I said, wait, we got to save this conversation for the podcast because it's so important. So identity shifting to be successful. We know we both had to do it in our businesses. We have to be intentional about it. So Linda, tell me if somebody asked you, what does identity shifting mean? Can you tell me what that means to you?
Yes. Literally, the word is self-explanatory, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
an identity that we all have. And the best way for you to see what your current identity is to look at the results in every area of your life.
Mm.
If your credit is awful, if you are not paying your bills, you have the identity of someone who lacks integrity. You may
Mm.
look good, you may drive a Mercedes, you might talk a good game, and you might have a degree, and you might have an amazing title, but your true identity is someone that doesn't have integrity. Now, you could be like, well, I make enough money. I got integrity. What are you talking about? If you make enough money to pay those bills and they're still late, then
Yeah.
your identity is someone who experiences lack.
Mm.
Because plenty of people make more than enough money to live their life. And you're right. They're not paying their bills on time.
Yeah.
because they choose to make something else a priority.
Mm.
And you said something important just like a couple of minutes ago. You were like, you have to be intentional.
Yes.
So I could keep talking. Can I keep
Yeah.
going?
Keep talking. Go.
So none of us in school, I mean, like grade school really doesn't teach us any of the things we truly need to live.
Right.
No one needs algebra to live. No one needs statistics to live. I think that algebra and college algebra teaches us the goal is to teach us how to think, but I think what school does is they tell us what to think, not how to think.
Right.
So because we're not taught to intentionally think of what we want, we literally live life by trial and error because that's what uh, um, grade school does. Like you study for a test, you pass, you fail. Life is not about you pass, you fail. You have to be intentional. For example, one of the greatest ways for you to start tapping into your future self and to make this identity into who you desire to be is to even not say who you want to be. Because
Mm.
when you say want, you're implying that you don't have it. And if you don't have it and you want it, it comes from a place of lack. So
Yes.
when you start to use the word desire, I desire that, it's that you believe it's available to you,
Yeah.
right? So even
Mm-hmm.
small shifts in our words, in the
Mm.
way that we use words. But when you think of your future self and you're still like, Linda, I can't think that far. I can't think of myself at 60. Like I don't even know how to think that far. But here's what you can ask yourself. When I'm 60, think of an aunt that's 60. Think of the lady at church that's 60. Think of your mom that's 60 and ask yourself, do I want to be my mom at 60? Do I want to be the lady at church at 60? Do I want to be my aunt at 60? I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to take it very personal. My mom is 79.
Mm-hmm.
She had a heart attack in March. My mom didn't just have a heart attack. My mom has been diabetic, overweight, high cholesterol, all of the diseases that come with not taking care of your health and being overweight. It's not that she's big boned. It's not
Yeah, big
that it
bone.
runs in the family. It's that these are the choices that she made. So when I saw my mother intubated in ICU and we did not know if my mother was going to make it, I was like, she did this to herself.
Mm.
I've been telling my mom since like, I don't know, I want to say I was in my early 30s and I joined this multi-level marketing. They sold workout DVDs and shakes. And they had a workout DVD with this very famous work trainer. Her name is Leslie Sansone, and it was like walk away the pounds. I was like, certainly you can walk in your living room because literally it was a DVD and you just walk in your living room from one side to the other, and 45 minutes later you got 10,000 steps.
Right.
So I was like, Mom, this is like the diabetic workout. Literally, you could just walk in your living room. I've been telling my mom, right?
Yeah.
And why am I telling you that story? Because you can take someone, you may not be able to tell fully who you want to be at 79, but you can go see someone who's 79 who you for certain know that you don't want to be that. And then you can ask yourself, what kind of
Mm.
experiences I don't want? When you don't know exactly what your future self looks like, you got plenty of future people that you can look in your own family. You don't got to
Mm-hmm.
go that far.
Exactly.
And you
Right.
can say, what experiences do I not want? Like, I don't want to be diabetic. Let me tell you something, everyone that's watching. I went to get my annual blood work 2 years ago. That thing said that I was pre diabetic. You might as well have given me a life sentence because my mom's oldest son died from diabetic complications, amputations, dialysis. My mom is suffering from all her diabetic complications. I don't want it. So my future
Yeah.
self knows for a fact I don't want diabetes. So that's why I work out every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's why got rid of all sugar. I don't put anything in my coffee. Like, there's sugar in all the other stuff that I eat that I didn't add.
Yeah. Right.
Right? I know that I don't want to be a 79-year-old like my mother. I want to be a 79-year-old that's competing in a bikini competition for a bodybuilder. I have I envision myself doing bodybuilding as I get older. I do.
I got to connect you with my girl Cheryl Grant. She's going through a Miss Olympia, and she's in her 60s right now. And
See?
she's excellent. I need to connect you with her.
So I
Yeah.
have a clear vision.
Hmm.
First thing you need about making an identity shift is to have a clear vision. But like I said,
Yes.
sometimes when this is new to you, we're not talking spiritual mumbo jumbo right now.
No.
This is real. And you
So
may
this
not
is a huge part of our success is shifting
correct
decision making.
decision making. So I was a single mom.
Yeah.
I was a single mom. I raised my kids as a single mom. And I made so many intentional and deliberate choices as I was raising my kids because I knew that I didn't want to be my mom. I didn't
Hmm.
want to be that type of mom. I wanted to be a new mom. And the mom that I wanted to be, I didn't have a blueprint for.
Right.
So I got blueprints from movies.
Hmm.
I got blueprints from other people that I admired, how they were raising their kids. And literally, I started to act as if I was. So one of the things since I think all the people that are watching you, 99% of them that are watching this interview are women. So I'm just going
Yeah.
to stay talking to women, right?
Right.
So almost every woman here can relate that she has kids.
Yeah.
If you don't have kids, you have animals. But I don't know how it works for animals because humans and animals are very different.
Everybody I know that has animals treat them just like their children. So I get
However,
you.
animals are conditioned and they are very instinctual. And what separates humans is our ability to use our, reasoning and intentionally plan, which is very key in identity shifting. Our animals, they become what we tell them to, and they just kind of wag their tails. They're happy. So I understand that people treat animals like children, but they're not human. So
Mm,
we can't make that connection here. So, but the people
yeah.
that have kids, um, I decided that I was going to be a particular type of mom. This mom, for example, when I got pregnant at 16, my parents said, "You ain't gonna be nothing but a loser. You gonna be lucky if some man gets with you." And so my parents loved to speak negatively about my future.
Mm,
Mm.
mm.
And I have never said to my children as I was raising them, even though I have one that is super bold and outrageous, I never said to him, "You're crazy. You keep doing that shit. You're gonna up this. This what's gonna happen
Yeah.
to you. Only people who blah 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 do this." I never said that. I always was like, "You're so bold. You question authority. You know what? That's a trait of leadership. One day
Mm.
you're gonna be a great leader." Even though in my
Very
head
good.
I was thinking, boy, this boy is just one decision away from being in major trouble. But I
Right.
never spoke that
Yeah. Yeah.
because because being able to break generational cycles, which is something that I deeply resonate with, begins with your own identity shift. And you have to be able to create identity shifts in your lineage, in your
Mm,
children, in your clients. You
mm.
can't really you can't really transfer that if you haven't done it yourself.
But Linda, let me stop you right here when you say that, because now I'm thinking, right, just on the title that we came up with, identity shifting, and we are who we are because our identity is really based on our family, our culture, or where we come from, right? On who we believe we are, who we were
Mm-hmm.
told we were,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Who we were told we were. Oh, you're not going to amount to anything. You're just going to keep having babies. You're going to be on welfare. You heard that same conversation I heard from family and friends telling us that, right? Because they believe that for themselves. So they put their own beliefs, right? Fed them into us. So we know that, right? As two people who highly invested in themselves in coaching, in order to identify it and say, damn, I didn't know I was talking like that. I didn't know I was saying, one day I want to be a millionaire, or I could never make 10,000. I've said that shit before, right? Out loud. I could never make $10,000 a month. Like, that's crazy. I
Mm,
could never make 20,000. Like, I've said those things back in the day, right?
mm,
Several years ago. when we started getting into the coaching world and learning from different people and understanding that our words are so powerful and the things that we say. So when people talk to me about things like I can't do this right now, or I don't have this, I don't have that, we don't even talk like that anymore. That doesn't even come out of our mouths. We intentionally have to invest in ourselves to be in circles where the conversation is different. The conversation is not lack. The conversation is, how am I going to double that? How am I going to make 20,000 this month, 40,000, 50,000? How am I going to change my own identity and know that I am worthy? Right? I am worthy of making this amount of money. I am worthy of making this impact in the world with these women. I am worthy. I'm worthy. We have to intentionally, that word is so big to me today when we talk about this, because it's not like it just happens. It's not like one day and say, I'm going to change my identity. No, you have to do the damn work. You have to invest the money. You have to be a quick decision maker. You can't be sitting on shit for weeks upon months and trying to figure it out. That is one of the reasons why you're in the state that you're in right now, because you take too long to make decisions. So you have to be intentional. You have to be a quick decision maker, right? You have to see the vision and be clear, have some clarity on where you're going, right? So Linda, just let's talk about that. Just like, what are some of the things you see in the clients that you work with that sabotage their success when it comes to identity shifting?
So one of my clients runs a multi-7-figure business, and we just had a one-on-one this week. I love her because she's Hispanic. I'm Hispanic. When she was telling me the story, I was in it. I'm like, girl, I'd have been there. So she went to a public event with her family. You know, like let's say like the Puerto Rican Day Parade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like something like that, where it's a whole bunch of people that you can't control who's there. And
Sure.
so she now let me stop there. She gets awards in the community. She helps, like she funds scholarships for, I mean, like she's heavily involved in her community. She's not just a multi-7-figure business owner in the community that's rich and fancy and sitting on a high horse.
Sounds like my type of girl.
Okay. Now, but check it out. I think that many entrepreneurs, now this is extra. I think many entrepreneurs of color, I think many entrepreneurs that are Black, brown, Hispanic, when they make those tons of 7 figures, they not just need the write-offs, but they actually have something where their heart is.
Yes.
And so they always have a thing where their heart is at. So anyway, this client has a heart for her people. And so she went to a public event, a thing that was for the community. And she grabs a chair for her child to sit and eat. And here comes some low-level woman. Why you took my chair? That I was holding that chair for my man. And so my client says, Linda, she put her hand in my face. And I was like, psh, slapped her hand out of the way. And so I was like in it. My son got up. He was like, what's up, mom? And so she was telling me the story. And I said to her, I can totally relate what you're saying, because there was a point in my life where I would have reacted the same way.
Yeah.
But it seems like when you leave your business, you turn off that you are who you are in the community. You've been providing service in that community over 20 years. There's absolutely no way you get brought to someone's level. I said, because here's what happens. It's very difficult for us to bring people to our level, but super easy for other people to bring us down to theirs.
Yeah.
And so I said, this could have ended horribly. People today, they don't respect life. Everybody has a gun. That lady was on probation. She didn't care. She don't care about being arrested. She'd have stabbed you. She would have wanted to shoot you, but instead shot your son. Or there's so many scenarios that could have happened because you allowed your identity to be shifted down to hers. And I joke with my friends because I am a Hispanic woman. I'm spicy. If you push my buttons right, you gonna get it, right? But the truth is, do not mistake who I am. When you Google me, that's who I am.
Yeah.
It's not just a fake identity. I am a brand. there is a generational pattern that I'm breaking with my business. How would you like to see a mugshot of me when you Google me? You'd be like, oh man, I really want to hire Linda. She crazy. You're not
Yeah.
gonna say that.
Right.
Right. So what are things that I see my patterns do? They
Yeah.
play that I see my clients do.
Clients too.
They play double dutch with their identity.
Mm,
When I'm here, I'm seven
double
figure. When
dutch.
I'm here, you're about to find out.
Right. Yeah.
And that also is a belief. So when I'm with Linda on my coaching call, oh, I can do it. When I get off the call, oh, I let all my limiting beliefs. I'm stuck in fear. I didn't take action for 3 days. I boxed her. And instead of saying all the action that I took, I was like, girl, I'm in a funk. And da, 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 da. Don't. So I don't work with those type of people because for a long time, up until very recently, I kept saying, man, people have money to pay because all of my clients pay the same, and it's like at every level, there are people with identity issues. And so what I
Every level.
love
Yeah.
is that those first 90 days are about upgrading your identity so that you're not doing this double dutch with success, double dutch with, oh, I took action consistently for 2 weeks, but I got a call that my mom's in the hospital. Oh, I can't move. Oh, my man told me he wants to break up with me. Oh, I can't function. In the meantime, after your man told you that he's going to break up with you, he went to work and had like the best day of his life.
Right. Exactly. And we were just talking about this right now before we jumped into this, right? About personal stuff that has happened in our lives. And I think that has to do a lot with who we are and the type of women we are right now, on how we deal with situations as entrepreneurs, right? Or as if, because we have a vision, like nothing's going to stop us from getting to where we're trying to go. It could be our mothers going to the hospital, kids going to prison, accidents, things going on in our families, like divorce, separation. Life happens. Life is always going to happen. Life is never going to stop, right? There's always going to be a situation in your life. Your baby toe is going to be broken, like all this stuff. But these are the excuses that people say, I can't do this right now because my kid's in college, or I'm doing this, or I'm transitioning jobs right now, or I'm thinking about transitioning jobs, or I got laid off. I mean, there's so many things and reasons why we don't move forward. They're just excuses, and they're decisions that are affecting our future selves, right? When we don't move on them.
They do, Chandra, because even literally this week, multiple 5 figures left my account for 3 different type of situations. 2 were my mother, 1 was my business. One was my mother, 1 was a family member, and 1 was my business. It doesn't matter. 2 were family, 1 was my business. There was a time in my journey of personal development, because we want to act like I just need business strategy. You need personal development. You need mastery of self. Yes. So there was a point in my journey of personal development that having money going out to this and to that, when my business required it, it would have put me in scarcity. Even though I had it, I would have been like, no, I've already spent so much money this week. Oh my God, I can't keep having weeks like this. But when you are in scarcity, every single time that you get back in scarcity, you are creating, because you create from your thoughts. Everything was created. This microphone was in someone's head. It was an idea of someone. This picture, this necklace, right? So literally, this is, oh my God, Kendra Scott. Like, I love Kendra Scott jewelry. It's not like a big fancy chain. It's a woman-owned business. It's every season, it literally is an idea in her head, right? So everything starts from here.
Yes.
If you're not mastering that, if you are a slave to your thoughts, a slave to your emotions, let me share this. Almost everybody knows Bishop T.D. Jakes, even if you're not a Christian. How many people here know Bishop T.D. Jakes? Drop it in the chat.
We got our people are watching us. Okay, Dr. Great. Alexa, Vanessa,
so Bishop T.D. Jakes, when asked, what do you think is the biggest thing that holds women back? If you don't know, he used to have a conference called Woman at the Well Conference, and he's now since passed that mantle onto his daughter, Sarah Jakes. But forever, TD Jakes made a movie about Woman at the Well, Woman Thou Art Loose.
Yeah.
So TD Jakes is heavily connected to what affects women. And when he was asked, what's the biggest thing you think is what holds women back? He said, women don't recover fast enough.
Mm.
That's emotional garbage.
Mm.
Women stay stuck in their emotional thing, recycling trash in their mind, emotions that make them feel bad. And
Yeah.
when you're stuck in that, you can't really think from a powerful place. You're not making the shifts into being a powerful being. You're like, well, society told me I have to be weak. Hispanic people say, calladita te ve más bonita, which means quiet, you look prettier, right?
Mm.
Church told me that I have to be my man's rib. I got to do my parents say. I can't be the head of the house. I can't have ambition because then I'm masculine. And I
Yeah.
got to be in my feminine. I have to go experience pleasure 3 times a day and masturbate my way to 6 figures. I know you're lying.
Right. 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 Right.
So it's the self mastery.
Mm-hmm.
It starts there. You might think, oh, I need to learn how to do Facebook ads. No, you don't. You need to learn how to finish what you start.
Or I need to hire a marketing team, or I need strategy, just like you said, right? And what we figured out over the years since we've been an entrepreneur, right? 2016. When did you launch your business and be full-time entrepreneur? I know I did 2017.
I did 2016, but I was like full time and then had to go get a job because I
Yeah.
couldn't figure this thing out. Full time
Yeah.
and get a job, but full time since
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah. So, I think that I forgot where my thought was going right now with this. Since then, we've had to make a lot of decisions that shifted, or from the beginning, when we started getting coaching and we started working together and we started seeing each other, we've had to look and follow each other's journeys and see and support each other in that, and having a circle around you of people that you can call and say, get out of your head, right? Get out of your head, stop making decisions like that. But my next question for you, Linda, my next question is, what are the top 5 things somebody can do now, right, today, to start shifting
I
their
don't
thought?
like top 5 things, man, but okay, I'm gonna go. The
3.
first thing that you need is
Mm-hmm.
clarity.
Mm-hmm.
You must have a clear vision of who you want to be, how much you want to weigh, what your credit score you want it to be, how many credit cards do you want, how much credit do you want available to you, what kind of life do you want, what kind of car you want to drive, what kind of business do you want, how do you want people to connect with you. It is clarity. And I just want to say that I'm going to harp on clarity because one of the things that I can't stand is I've been buying journals and planners since I was young, and it was the Stephen Covey planner with the high habits of highly
Yeah.
successful people.
Yeah.
And I used to write like my to-do list in there, take the kids to the doctor, go grocery shopping, because I really didn't have important shit to put in there. But
Your grocery list.
my future self knew somehow, my future
Mm.
self knew that that's the kind of woman that I'd be. And I wouldn't just buy the plain planner. I would get the leather zipper cover for it because
Right.
I'm a badass. And I've been
Right.
buying planners, right? And so many people buy the planners. And you're like, I bought all the planners. I've written the affirmations. I go to bed at night listening to YouTube guided meditations. But you're not doing the thing. And the
Mm.
simple thing that you hear, I don't care who you are, if you are in the personal development space, if you're an entrepreneur, you're in personal development.
Yeah.
You have heard journal the things you want. I promise you, in 2020, I began doing this consistently. I began to write out, I am so happy and grateful now that. And then all the things that I want as if I already have them. Now that I'm a size 8, now that I have an amazing husband who is blah, 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 blah. Now that I have a $250,000 a year business when I hadn't even made 6 figures that year. Now that
Mm,
I own
yeah.
the first Hispanic woman owned personal and professional development firm in the country. Now that I have clients globally. And all of that happened that year.
Yeah.
It was 2020 when I got serious about writing things down. I used to make uh, poster boards, vision boards, but that's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally write, this is my planner for today and all the things I need to do over here. I do not go to bed without intentionally creating my day for tomorrow. So when you're like, what are the top 5? I just want the top 1. It is clarity of intentionally creating what you want. This is how your future self acts, because your regular self, today's self, she don't be planning nothing.
Right.
That's why she's getting all these random results that she doesn't want.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it is clarity. The second, once you have clarity, you've got to visualize that. I'm not trying to sound spiritual. You must know in 10 years, I'm 50. In 10 years, I'm going to be 60. In
Yeah.
10 years, where do I wake up? Is it a house? Is it a condo? Is it a loft? Is there carpet on the floor? Is it a hardwood floor? Is it tile? Do I put my feet as soon as I wake up on the floor plain without flip flops, without house shoes? Do I feel the cold tile on my feet? You've got to experience all the senses. Do you use charcoal toothpaste? Is it minty fresh? Is it whatever? Did you upgrade to the electric toothbrush?
Yeah.
Do you open up your window with coffee in hand and you see a big farmland? Or do you see the city? Or what? You literally must
Mm.
envision who you want to be. And maybe it's not that. Maybe you want to envision what your bank account wants to be, what your credit score needs to be, what your business, the kind of woman or man that you want to work with, where you want to work. I want to be remote. I want to hop on planes all the time. I built a business hopping on planes.
But Linda, can I jump in right here?
Come on.
We can say this all day, right? We can write it in our journal. We can manifest it. We can speak it into existence.
I'm not even talking about manifesting. But
no, I know you're not.
Ahead.
I know you're not. But people would call that manifestation, right? Too, by speaking into existence and manifesting that husband, manifesting that house or whatever. But if you're not doing the work, right? If you're not making the decisions that align with that, right? You have to make the decisions that align with that. You have to take those actions. You have to move like that person that you desire to be. You have to move like her.
That's why I said, if you don't know exactly who you want to be, think of the future person, a woman in your life that you don't want to be. And then be like, what experiences do I not want? I don't want to be diabetic. So if you don't want to be diabetic, then today, when I go to dinner, I can't have 3 margaritas.
Right.
Maybe I'll have a skinny one, or maybe I'll be like, get rid of any sugar. Just give me a straight shot of liquor. I can partake, and that's it.
Yeah.
I can't have the bread. I can have, because I know that I want the breaded asparagus, so I'm not going to have the bread.
Right.
So when you know even what you don't want, that's where we all start. Every human being is fear averse. Most people don't know how to be goal driven, but they know how to be fear aversion. That's why we always get what we don't want, because we're always envisioning what we don't want. But when you don't know exactly what you want, you got to start with what you don't want. If you get off this live stream, after you watch this live stream, I encourage you to, whatever conversation you're going to have this weekend with whoever, your cousin, your friend, your baby daddy, your husband, your coworker, whoever, just say, hey man, I'm doing this exercise that I was watching a podcast, and the lady said to do this, so I want to do this. What do you want in life? What do you want? And the person is going to say to you, what do you mean what I want? Like, as far as what? I don't know. What do you want in life? Like, what do you want in your marriage? What do you want in money? What do you want for your future? And right out, the person will next say, I don't know. And then I want you to say, but if you did know, what would you want? And they're going to start telling you what they don't want. People know exactly what they don't want, But we are
Mm-hmm.
not taught to think about what we want. People be like, well, what I don't want is a man cheating on me. That's what I don't want. I don't want to be broke. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be fat no more. I, people tell you what they don't want, and then it's no surprise why they have what they don't want.
Mm.
I I grew up in church, yet I stay away from even Christian talk or spiritual talk because you're not going to manifest anything. If we take the word manifest and replace it with miracle, that's what Christians refer to a miracle. But nowhere in the Bible did Jesus make a miracle for anybody and didn't ask them to do something to get the full miracle. Jesus said, go and sin no more. Go and wash your eyes with this mud. Go and do something. So, in order for you to manifest or receive a miracle, you must do that thing. For example, Christians would love to take their blood sugar. That thing says 324, and they're putting a Facebook post. Oh, prayer warriors, please pray for my blood sugar, everybody. I need a miracle. You don't need no miracle. You have to stop eating sugar. Stop using God like he's
Yes.
in the Bible.
Yes.
Oh, so God ain't trying to. I always tell people, y'all better be glad I'm not God, because I'll be looking at y'all like, just zap you. I'm tired of you.
Exactly.
Just zap you.
Exactly.
Because we want God and the universe to manifest things for us that are in our control.
Right. Right. It's a mind. It's a mind shift, and just with me and you going through coaching in life, right? Through coaching,
Yes.
we know that we've been able to shift our identities extremely, right? And
Uh-huh.
who we were in 2017 to who we are now,
Yep.
right? And we make decisions very fast. We will, like we said, book a trip to Mexico, to book a trip anywhere, just like that. We will hire a coach. We will invest in a system. We will invest in support in our business, just like that. We make decisions that quickly, right? Because we know when we make quick decisions, that's when usually it works out, right? It's like we don't sit on things and marinate, because we know the faster we make that decision, the faster we can get to that life that we desire. The faster you make that decision, the faster you can get there. But if you're sitting on something that's going to take you to a whole nother level, it's going to take you longer to get there. So you have to be able to shift your brain. And we know through the years of coaching that the number one thing that has gotten us to where we are is our mindset, right? It is the decisions, it is the identity shifting that we did. But the only way is through through coaching and being in circles with people like ourselves, with people like you and me, to be able to conversate with each other, to be able to shake each other up, to be able to challenge each other and push each other and use each other as examples and support each other. But I know, like for me, in my coaching program, right, I had to create a whole course, rewrite your mental constitution, because I seen that no matter her strategy, how much strategy I would give a client, no matter how much systems and support I give them, help you build a website, help you do this, it didn't matter at the end of the day. If you were still living in your lack mindset, in your poverty mindset, in your who you think you are, right? Who you were told you are, you're not going to make decisions like that CEO. You're not going to be, if your person that you desire to be is Beyonce or J Lo or whoever that is, you are not making decisions like her. What would a CEO do? You know, like I mean, I've done this. What would J Lo do in this moment? What would the boss J Lo do in this moment? And I move like her. She would make a quick decision, or she would do it. She would take action. Like that's how you have to move, like a boss. You can't sit, because the longer you take, the longer it's going to take for you to get there.
Yes. So let me share two things
Mm-hmm.
specifically for the audience. You said, hey, we got to get into the circles of people, right? We've got to get around those people. And I used to think when I was broke, how in the hell am I going to be friends with rich people?
Mm-hmm.
Because like, you got to get around millionaires. Otherwise, you're not going to learn how to think like millionaires. Well, how do I get there? Well, you're not going to hurry up and get there, but you're going to get, the first step is you're going to get around the people that invest $2,000. That first time that I spent $1,000 on anything, I thought I was going to die, because I couldn't believe that I just took
Me
$1,000
too.
to buy a course,
Me too. Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So there are people swimming in that $1,000 pool.
Mm-hmm.
Those are people who are elevating their mindset.
Mm.
So you start to become friends with those folks, friend each other. Now, what you will find, because I remember I bought a course in 2015 called 1K in One Day by Nicole Walters. Of all the people that I friend requested, one badass powerhouse was there. Her name was Cece, the six-figure chick. And Cece passed away during the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
Cece came from 1K in One Day. When Cece passed away, Cece had $1 million business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Someone else who came from 1K in One Day that I think I'm almost sure was Ramonica Plichet. Both her, everybody else that I friended from that $1,000 kiddie pool, they fell off.
Yeah.
Because what they did not do is continue to the $2,000 kiddie pool, continue to the $3,000 kiddie pool. They got stuck and said, "Oh, I invested this 1K. It didn't do shit for me. This don't work."
Right.
No, you don't work.
Right.
Right? Because what we think is that when we invest in coaching, it has to give us results right away. And while there are some things that are going to give you results right away, because some strategy, if you implement it right away, it will work. But the problem is that your learning curve is your learning curve.
Yeah.
I can't force you to get the result right now. The amount of women that have called me 2 years later and said,
yeah,
the thing that you and I did 2 years ago is just now making sense, Linda. Thank you.
Right.
Right. So that's number one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still on number one. So then you start investing into higher groups. Currently, I have about 9 or 10 people in my phone that I can call right now that are not just millionaires, multi-millionaire. They run multi-million-dollar companies, not like a coaching program, companies in the real world, with government contracts and stuff, and others that have a 7-figure coaching business because it is a true firm, not you trying out what you want to do. But we all start there. Everybody started as a newbie. This morning, I'm literally flirting with a multiple 7-figure guy. That I would not have that man's number if we didn't meet at an event that we both invested several thousands of dollars to be in the audience. Okay? So when people are like, "Are you saying you got to pay to make friends?" Yes.
Yes. You got to pay to play.
All the men that pay for the golf course membership, for the country club membership,
Private clubs.
for the private clubs. They're private for a reason, boo. You got to qualify to get in here. Everybody wants to act brand new. Like, "Oh, I don't like your qualification assessment." People message me with this weak ass message. I want to work with you, but I know you don't work with newbies. I don't even reply no more because I don't work with newbies. Girl, get out of my face.
Right.
But I used to work with newbies, right? So my confidence has grown, my business has grown because of what my clients do, what I'm helping, the results that I'm helping them get. Are you gonna pay to make $1 million friends? Yes, and if you don't, you won't.
People don't understand, right? That initial investment. They're looking at the initial investment, not the long-term benefit that's going to come out of it, right? So if you invest $1,000, $2,000, every level that I've invested in, right, I made my money back tenfold, right? You too, and I know you have, Linda. Each level, like you said, in the kiddie pool that we were going in, you're getting around circles of other people. You're saying, "Oh, she's going to work in that program," or "that coach is creating that program and they had wins out of that program. Oh, okay, I'm going to go do that." And the more we get into programs or coaching and the higher level our mindset shifts, we're going in to get results. The more money me and you pay, the less touch we have with that coach, right? The more money me and you pay to be with a coach, we are not sitting with that coach every single day or even once a week. We have less time. And even our high level programs where we work with people, right? If they're paying more money, that person doesn't need us holding their hand because that person is so focused, is like, "I'm going to pay you and I'm going to do the work." Those clients do the work. So you have a stake in the game because you're investing that money. You're like, "Shoot, I invested that money. I'm about to do it." I know when I would invest, Linda, and I don't know about you, I was like, "I'm a star student. I'm going to be at every meeting, at every call, and I'm going to soak up and I'm going to do everything that coach said to do because that coach has results." I put my money in the game and I'm gonna do it.
Let me
Right?
tell you
That's
why.
not how it moves.
And the reason I did that was because I fixed my credit in 2021. I
Yeah.
didn't have credit cards or loans. Every dollar that I paid every coach was
Mm,
from my checking account. So I could not afford not to do the work and get results. That's the money that I got to pay my bills with. I got to make that money.
yeah.
So the second story. So in 2019, I invested for the first time ever. The first time I paid a coach $10,000. I only had $3,000 in my checking account. I made my first initial deposit of 2,500, and I did not know how I would pay the other 7,500. I just knew I better learn this because I got to pay this money. So long story short, in 90 days working with that coach that I paid $10,000 to, I made $57,000. I had never made $57,000 in my life. In a
Mm,
year, I had never made
in a
$57,000 in
year.
my business.
Yes.
My coaching business the previous year did $11,000 because I really wasn't working it as a business and I didn't even know how to charge. So here's the mindset, okay? Because this is, I know that this is going to shift people who are watching this right now.
Yeah.
There are people watching this right now that need to do this shift because this is where I was. And I'm about to tell you exactly how I did it. So I make $57,000 in 90 days. I'm excited. I already know that because the coach is teaching us this is how you do. Then you upsell your clients to continue working with you. So I already knew she was going to offer me to keep working with her. And I was already going to say no. I made up my mind around week 8 that
Mm,
I was not going to say yes because I was still broke in my mind. I was like,
yes.
I made $57,000. I am not about to turn around and give this lady $1,800 a month for the next 12 months. You crazy? That's rent. I got to move out of here. I was living with my friend. It was the pandemic. So when that coach offered me to keep working with her, I was like, no. So you know what happened when I said no? It was November. I didn't make
Mm,
no money in November. I didn't make no money in December. I didn't make no money in January. I didn't make no money in February. And I didn't
yeah.
make no money in March until President Trump decided to shut down the country on March 21st. And I don't know what that did to me because my daughter was coming home from college and I sold $26,000 worth of services in a weekend.
Mm,
And then by Tuesday, I had $26,000 in cash in my bank account. I had never had that much money in my bank account. So I was like, okay, that was March. April, I delivered some coaching. One of my clients that paid me in March, she made $94,000 by the end of the month in April. And I said, something's wrong. It's not that I am hating on my clients. I love that my clients are getting these results, but I never made $94,000 in a year, let alone in a
wow.
month. I
Yeah.
need help. So I decided to hire my next coach in the middle of the pandemic when everybody was retracting. I said, here you go. And I paid for the VIP option, which included access to him, one-on-one call monthly and all the Voxer that I wanted. And it was in June of that year. I had my first $50,000 month that June.
Mm,
Okay, so last October, I had made $57,000 in 90 days. That June, I hire a coach. I make $50,000 in a month.
month.
And I ended the year from June to the end of the year, $251,000. I realized that I was in scarcity when that coach offered me to
Yeah.
continue working with her. But
Hmm.
guess what? I guess I needed to create that circumstance of me having hit what that was an upper level or upper
Up
limit. I
limits.
made
Yeah.
the money. I
Hmm.
hit myself against the upper limit and it was unbelievable to make
You
that
didn't
kind
think
of
it was
money.
going to last. You didn't think you still were in a mindset where I got to hold on to this money,
And
right?
what you
Because
don't
I don't know if I'm going to have
understand,
it. Yeah.
if you don't have a coach, you
Hmm.
will splat against your upper limit.
Mm.
I
Say
hope
it again.
everybody caught that. That was a big mindset shift. I had to shift my awareness about abundance, wealth
You'll plateau.
consciousness.
You'll plateau. You'll
Yes.
plateau.
Yeah.
And you'll stay there for a long time.
Yes.
You're a long time. So, Linda, remember we talked about in the beginning, you were like, how long is this going to last? How long did you allot for this, Chandra? I said, about an hour. And you said, I don't think it's going to go that long. I already knew. okay? Because me and you could talk for hours upon hours upon hours about stuff like this. Because at the end of the day, just like you said, Linda, we are moms. We're women of color. We understand. We've been there. We've done that. And the reason why we continue to share and the reason why we continue to show up, because we want to see more women do it. Because we were able to shift, and we're just trying to give you the recipe. We just trying to give you the recipe. That's all we're trying to do. We're not trying like we
Shout out,
got plenty
Chandra.
of clients that want to pay us. Plenty of clients that want to work with us. So we're sharing the
I'm about
love.
to get ready to sing. Okay, here I go.
Kumbaya.
Nope,
What?
because you're
You
like,
got
we're
a
trying to
little.
give it to you. We're trying to share it with you. I could teach you, but I have to charge. Yeah, but I have to charge. I'm not trying to
Oh,
give
you
you
gonna break into a rap? Hey, y'all don't know that Linda can freestyle.
nothing.
Linda could freestyle. Okay, y'all don't know. Maybe one day we'll get her on the mic and do a freestyle for us.
If you
But
want me to
I
freestyle,
learned
you
in
got to pay a
Vegas
lot of
that
money
Linda
so you
can
can be in the
freestyle.
car with me, because that's where I freestyle in the car.
Hmm. That was fun. That was in Vegas. But for the people that watch, we have Vanessa Cabrera on here. We had Coach Stevie Bacon, and we had Dr. Alexa Rosa here. You know, these are our friends, our clients, are just people in the industry that know us, that have been watching us. Like you said, a lot of people are falling off in coaching right now. A lot of people are going to get jobs.
Okay.
A lot of people are going to get jobs because right now it's hard. We ain't even gonna lie. We ain't gonna tippy toe and act like it's easy. Okay. But you have to have the right mindset and you have to have an identity shift. You have to do the work to get there, right? Along with what you desire and where you want to be. You can't just dream about it. You can't just write it in the journal. You got to do the work behind it. And doing the work behind it is getting the help that you need to get you there. So, Linda, tell people if they want to reach out, they want to find you, they want to start following you, tell them how they could do that.
Just find me. Yeah, click if you're watching this on Facebook, just click on my name. Send me a friend request. Okay. I am a real person. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's my name, Linda Hales. Find me on any platform. Threads, the newest one. LinkedIn. Follow me. You want to go see what my clients are doing? It's coaching.lindahales.com. But just send me a friend request. Like, what I love about the kind of business that I run is that I don't believe in sales pages. I don't believe in websites. I'm the sales page.
Yep.
I'm the website. I'm the credibility that you need. You need to have a
Mhm.
conversation with me. So if you're feeling like that's what you want, reach out. I don't bite.
And don't waste your time.
It will not be wasted. I
Yeah,
promise.
exactly. Don't waste your time. Don't come with the crying and the whining and the I can and I want to. I don't know. That ain't gonna work with Linda. Linda, it has a degree in human behavior. Okay, that's why she's able to get the great success. That's one of the reasons she's able to get the great success with a lot of her clients, with all her experience in coaching and everything that she's done. And she's just brilliant at what she does. And I am honored to have her as one of my closest friends and in my inner circle, because I'm telling you, I wouldn't be where I'm at today, and I wouldn't be the strong woman I am today if she wasn't a part of my life. And I know that as a guarantee. Hi, Chrissy. How you doing? Chrissy Ferreira just joined. Thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate you watching. This is going to be on YouTube. This will be here for everybody else to watch later. But thank you for watching. Share it again if you haven't shared it. Don't be stingy and greedy. Hold on and share it. I mean, share it with your audience. But thanks, Vanessa, for watching. We appreciate. She said, "Great show, ladies." We appreciate that, Vanessa. You guys have a great weekend, a great Friday, and we'll see y'all later. Take care.